Spirit log entry of the Brownhill Cemetery groundskeeper, recovered on the 11th of Flame, 1,989 years after the fracturing of the firmament. Entry 322. Date 7th of Flame, year 1889 of the Imperial calendar. Time 11:25 a.m. Type undetermined. After receiving months of reports about the phantom of the late Cecilia Tilcott, I believe I finally encountered her apparition myself late this morning. Shortly after finishing my lunch inside the cabin, the dogs began to bark and growl outside. As I opened the door, I glimpsed them take off towards the southwest. My heart was left uneasy about the source of this commotion, so I went back inside to grab my rifle. I followed the paw prints underneath a canopy of thick trees in the central part of the cemetery. I caught up with the dogs shortly thereafter. They were shaking, terrified of moving forward. I knew right then and there this was no typical intruder. I began to walk once more, towards the location the dogs seemed to be drawn to, but then I stopped. I heard the unmistakable sound of sobbing from behind me. I slowly turned around, and as clear as day, the apparition was sitting right in the middle of the path, the way I had came. The apparition's legs were drawn to her head, her face buried deep in her knees, crying frantically. She was far enough away that I could not get a clear description of her form. The body seemed contorted in some way. The left arm seemed almost broken, and the red of her blood was easy to see against the white of her dress. I called out to her then, but received no response. Carefully, I began to inch my way forward, summoning as much courage as a man could hope for when encountering a specter. As I took my uneasy fourth step, the apparition paused her weeping and lifted her head from her legs. I froze as I gazed upon her face, which seemed to lack any form or feature. It was like staring into the heart of the gloom itself. My fear only magnified when the apparition let out a piercing wail, causing me to recoil back and avert my gaze. The dogs panicked, running off into the bushes as I fell backwards. I took a moment to collect myself and stood back up, but as I looked down the path again, the woman in white was nowhere to be found. Signed, Forrest Cropper, the 42nd groundskeeper of Brownhill Cemetery. As you approach the cemetery, you hear, you want to say maybe 7 blocks down, you hear a faint, "Ooh," and then bang, gunshot, and then the howling stops.
Yeah, there it is. There they are.
It seems like it is time. But
Ooh.
you are standing at the gates, I'm assuming, of, I won't even put you that far there. I'll say you are standing within less than a block of Brownhill Cemetery, which is kind of in this forested, a little more of a forested area than the rest of the city block that you're in. It seems like this is kind of more of a part of the city, or this part of the district that the government wants to keep a little more looking like a park as much as it is a graveyard. They want it to look pleasant for when people visit. Keep in mind, too, something in the lore. It is very rare, because of how ghosts are so much of a problem, that there's actually a body that gets to be buried, because most of the time what happens is someone dies, and then the government takes their body to go to the crematorium right away, so that the ghost cannot escape and cause problems for the community. So cemeteries are kind of a bittersweet thing, where people are happy when their loved ones get to be interred there if they want to visit them, but also chances are that also leaves the implication that, oh, your ghost probably became a problem for someone somewhere.
Some heavy shit.
Yeah. Death is weird in this world. But yeah, you know where the tomb is located. That's over here, in the upper left corner of this map. Or I guess I should say the northwest. And then also you know that the gravekeepers, or gravekeeper is the proper term for, or groundskeeper, right? That's the term they use.
Yeah.
Gravekeeper isn't actually a real job, it's just the one everyone uses.
Yeah, the groundskeeper has a little shack here, where you don't know if he's there, but from what you know of him, he's probably there. And actually, I'll say you're close enough to see this. There are 2 dogs on this map. And also I want to, since we are kind of taking more of a different approach with this map thing here, I want to say Blades in the Dark is a system that does not require you to use a map of any kind like this, like a top-down, tabletop RPG style map. I just kind of like to do it to give a sense of place sometimes. I'll probably do it for stuff that's going to be a little more action-oriented or where stuff's going to be happening, just because I feel like it gives a nice sense of place and reference, but this can be as indicative of what the situation actually looks like as our imagination wants it to. So don't take the map as gospel as you would in, say, something like a more dedicated combat game. Just as a heads up. So everything here is an abstraction. But yeah, there's 2 guard dogs out in front of the cemetery gate, and the gate doors are locked.
What kind of dogs are they? Are they like big dogs?
Bigger husky types.
Do they look vicious, or do they just look like they're just kind of there?
That would probably be a roll to kind of get a sense for that.
All right, so would that be like a survey?
Yeah. Well, no, because you know what? I shouldn't even say that, because typically when you roll, there should be more of a consequence if you fail to. I think, yeah, I think I'll say your little buds here, they look alert. They don't necessarily look ferocious, but they have the potential to be if stirred. They're, by all accounts, traditional guard dogs.
And where are we in context of this map? I'm guessing we're like probably out out over
east.
here.
Yeah.
How tall is the fence?
Tall enough that it goes over your head about a foot, but it does look climbable.
Because I'm thinking if people need to get in, I could distract the dogs, kind of like run around somewhere, and then hop over the fence. And which would kind of like delay the dogs a lot. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like I could probably distract the dogs, run around. Everyone else can go in through the gate, then close the gate so the dogs can't get back in.
That could work. I'm thinking.
Because it would, I feel like it wouldn't be that unusual for the dogs to maybe chase after something.
Yeah.
Especially tonight on the night of a full moon.
Okay, is everyone fine with this here, little...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, chase.
And since since this is the guards, the what's the gravekeeper? What's the guy again?
His name is Forrest Cropper.
Okay, so since Forrest is gonna be over here, instead of running up north, I'm gonna run around like kind of around the west.
Okay.
And maybe by the time I reach like around this corner, I'll hop the fence.
Okay.
Or I can attempt to hop the fence.
Yeah. What do you want to roll for this?
Let me see. I think this would be a prowl. Well, actually, no, that would be unseen.
Prowl
Prowl
about unseen and traverse
unseen.
Obstacles. Finesse would be maybe not.
Oh, it says and traverse obstacles. So yeah, that would be that would be a prowl.
Yeah, I say go for prowl. I will again say the standard and risky will be what we're going for here. Oh.
Okay, well that fails.
Yikes, Scoob! Like zoinks!
The dog still chased after me though, so everyone else can get in.
So,
right or no?
What I think we'll do here is, yeah, you know what? I'll say,
because I figured the roll was just to hop over the fence. Is what I pictured it as.
Oh, it was for the full thing.
Oh, for the full thing. Okay.
So what I think will happen is, I'll say since it's risky, what's going to happen is the dogs will chase after. So you do succeed at because that's more of a partial success though, because the action was to distract the dogs at its core, and you failed. So I feel like that implies one stays behind. Like the problem wasn't solved. You know what I mean? This one chases after you, and as you're struggling to leap over I'm assuming you're running, but you're also in a spot where you're like, oh crap, only one of them is chasing after me. Both of them should have. And as you're trying to leap over the fence to at least get this dog distracted, it's going to chomp you right in the butt.
In the butt? Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouchie.
I'm gonna say that's level 1 harm, nipped. This will mean for any relevant roll, you will have less effect than normal. Your butt's sore.
Alright.
You got bit in the butt.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess I'll declare one of my items.
Go for it. You
All
can
right,
also.
I'm gonna have...
I can also say, you can resist that at the cost of some stress too, if you would like.
Nope.
Nope.
I'll just deal with it. I'm gonna do an unusual weapon. I'm gonna have a taser, and I'm just gonna tase the dog.
Okay, when you say taser.
What the fuck?
It's the 1800s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is 1800s. I forgot about that. Yeah. So I can't do that. How about?
You're a taser.
Like what?
Yeah, that's
What
right.
Tesla bullshit did you?
I forgot this was I forgot this was the 1800s for a second. My bad.
Your footballer background.
Let's see. What could I do?
You could do a sap.
Could I have arm? So instead of instead of having the harm on me, could I declare that I had armor and the armor kind of like took the hit for it?
You know what? I'm completely fine with that. Why don't we do that?
You had ass armor.
He had his football gear on.
Yeah, I was
My
gonna
ass
say.
is reinforced. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have like reinforced football gear on. You know.
Yeah. So I'll say that it yanks out your butt protector. And
yeah, that's the thing. Mm-hmm.
Yep, totally used in football all over the nation.
Yeah, I need to remember that we're not doing beam sabers, so I can't do stuff like that.
Yeah, so yeah, going from a Gundam-esque mecha warfare setting to you're all criminals in fake Victorian England with Ghost, gonna be a lot different.
Limits the unusual weapons
Pull
a
out
lot.
the beam saber against the ghost.
Alright, yeah.
I summon my Gundam. Yeah, okay, so you used your armor then, so you have one use of armor every time you take armor, and that basically lets you nullify harm that would come your way. So
because the armor is 2 slots, does that mean I only have 1 slot of armor left?
No, that means armor is 1 use for the full thing.
Okay.
So you used your armor, so that's 2 slots that are gone now. But you didn't take damage.
Alright.
You still haven't climbed the fence. Do you want to... What's your plan here? This is a weird spot to be in.
Well, I saw that only 1 dog came after me. So I think I'm probably gonna just... I'll feel bad, but I'll take it down. Because I feel like evading just this dog doesn't really solve the purpose.
Okay.
You know, so... If I were to hop over the fence now, you know, everyone else still has to deal with the 1 dog. So I figured maybe I could take care of this dog and then go back and help with the other one.
Do you want to... I feel like that'd be a skirmish if you're alright with that.
You gonna kill this dog?
It's a skirmish. I'm gonna... So, yeah, I'll roll for it.
Said a sap.
And depending on what the result is, I'll kind of like describe what I do with it.
Do you want to stress yourself for a 3 dice roll?
Yeah, sure. So that's 2 stress, correct?
2 stress. So you are pushing yourself, you're adding 2 stress to your character to go above and beyond what your normal capability is. That means, in this case, well, you can do you want to do 3 dice, or do you want to have increased effect?
Probably 3 dice.
Okay. Go ahead and...
So risky, standard, and then bonus dice 1.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I got a 5.
Yeah. You did.
Is this enough? Is whatever this roll was enough to take the dog out?
Yes, it is, in fact.
All right. So I'm gonna just pick up the dog and throw it against the wall.
Jesus Christ!
What else am I gonna do?
There are spikes
Not
on.
that.
Hold on, I could make this worse. There are spikes on the fence. Do you wanna?
Listen, I considered maybe like, you know, like. Worse. I considered doing something worse than throwing a dog against a wall to like take it out. I considered worse things, but I figured my character would not want to do that to.
You're in a bad
poor
position.
dog.
It's life or death. You're yeah. Okay.
I mean, it only bit my armor.
This is all in a week, guys.
But yeah, let's just
Session
throw...
1, we're updating our "Does the dog die" page.
Yeah, I'll throw the dog against the wall, and it'll just like, I hope it's not dead, but you never know.
Yeah.
But
You took care of the problem. As it goes against the wall, the whole south side of the fence starts to shake violently because it's kind of loose, and you hear "Whoo!" as it falls unconscious.
oh no, and I'll feel really bad, but I'll come back and join everyone, I guess.
You're like the groundskeeper's dog was a werewolf.
And I guess since this other dog never followed me,
Yeah, it didn't seem to have
and
much
I'm
care.
guessing the rest of the group didn't go forward since not all the dogs left. So I guess
Rest of the
No.
group, did you go forward?
No. So,
because
while
the
he
dog
was doing
so
that,
I'll go back and like hide a little bit and see if like maybe the other dog decides to go looking for it.
so you mentioned earlier that I've probably been to this graveyard before at night to do some research.
Yeah.
So would I know just like a chill legal way to get in here?
Through the gate during its normal operating hours.
Alright.
Which these are not. But
Alright,
if you want to try to gain some advantage, at all from like your trips here, you could.
yeah.
So I don't know what that would be. I'd have to look at the stats. I mean, you can help me out here. Survey is kind of survey location or situation, but you are using past knowledge, and you have a map, so you are studying a document. You're applying knowledge. I could say this could be whatever you want it to be. If you want to do a study, survey, whatever you feel. I mean, again, it's your call. It's your call.
Alright. So, what I was thinking is, I just straight up flag down the groundskeeper. I'm like, hey yo, I'm with the college.
Oh, are you doing that while his dog is being possibly murdered?
Well, I don't see that happening.
So, are you gonna go over to, like, this part of the fence over here, like, up where the shack is, and try to get his attention from inside?
Yeah, I think that's what she's gonna do.
Okay. You've seen this guy, but I don't feel like you've talked to this guy before, you know? But, he kinda cracks open a really, it's kinda like a, saloon door style window from his very rundown shack, and he goes, "What? It's the full moon hunt."
Yeah, so I'm with the Silver Moon College, and I'm trying to research if the full moon hunt has any effects on spirits. And since there had been rumors of spirits here, I wanted to see if you could let me in.
Is that illegal?
Yes.
I have documents.
I think
As I declare one of my inventory items.
is documents, yeah.
And if you need me, I'll be like, I'm a lawyer, which is not
so
wholly a lie.
if you want,
You're also a hunter, which is more.
I'm also a hunter, yeah.
so are these okay? This is a very negligible difference. Are the documents legit or fake? Because if they're fake, they're subterfuge supplies.
I'd say they're probably legit. It's like her actual official documents proving she works for the university
Why
and
did
the
you mention
Department of
this before?
Spiritology.
Why didn't you mention this before? I tried to distract the dogs.
Or you
I
killed the
didn't-
dog.
I didn't realize. Listen, from Eliza's perspective, one of her students that she probably wasn't particularly fond of because he had friends just started running off getting chased by dogs. She's probably like, okay, do that.
Oh my god, this is bad.
I love this.
I like to think my character is just like taking a smoke right now. Like, yeah,
It's like,
yeah, this is fine.
well, fucking yakety sax plays in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the documents are good enough for this guy. He doesn't seem like the most thorough checker in the world of documentation. And he goes, well, I guess I can. And then as soon as he says, guess I can, suddenly you hear the sound of a shaking fence to the south, and then a whoo, and he goes, "The Beastmen! Oh, lady, we gotta get you in here." And then he like rushes out with like he has like a tarp that he throws over the fence to cover the spikes, and he goes, "Can you climb up? You got enough of a grasp? Can you get in here?"
Yeah, but I had a couple of guards with me.
Call him over, quick.
I'm like, hey, Liz and the other
What am
ones.
I'm to really sell it. I have my gun trained outwards, and I'm just backing up.
Okay.
All right. I'm here.
And there we go.
The fuck are you?
So am I still, when this is happening, I'm guessing I'm still with the dog, like this is happening at the same time?
Yeah, well, so we just caught up to being parallel with one another. So, yeah, you're free to do whatever you want to over on the south side, but it seems like they seem to, well, you don't know what's going on over there, but I feel like you probably can look back and see your friends are no longer there, is what I'd say.
Yeah, I'll see that they're no longer there, so I'm gonna assume they probably tried to find another way in, so I'll probably like try to hop the fence again.
All right, that would be a roll as well.
All right, so I need to roll. So that would probably be another prowl.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Risky and
the normal
standard.
roll.
You're completely fine here.
All right, a 4.
Yeah, the fence shakes a lot. Like the fence has seen a lot of damage lately, so it's really loud.
Just had a dog thrown against it.
Yeah. And it seemed like not the most sturdy thing in the world. So, like, this whole thing is rattling up a choir. And,
like a gun choir.
Like a gun choir. To the north, he goes, "I think they hopped the fence. Come on, get into the shack, We need to hide."
Yeah.
Are you all climbing up the tarp?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
For all I know, I believe him.
I'll be like, don't worry, guys. I'll go take care of it.
Yeah. All right. You're all.
Oh no.
You're all over on the other side here, and he goes, "Get into the shack," and then he gets inside the shack, and he's like, quickly.
I get in.
Does everyone else get in?
I give the whole, I'll go. I go, you stay. Give a salute, and then I walk over to the source of the sound.
Oh,
because again, for all I know, it's real.
Saint Gwen bless us, a hunt woman. Go, get him, protect us.
I'm just thinking, what happened to Chase? Just thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna find Chase fucking dead.
All right, so you're making your way towards the south, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, and then all right, and then Chase, what are you doing?
I'll probably like start heading over to like the tomb.
Okay.
Because I would think that, you know, if everyone else is kind of left, I would think that, you know, everyone else would probably be heading to this direction.
Okay.
So I would start making my way there.
Yeah, I think you make your way there completely fine as Lynn comes walking. So I know that your do you prefer to go by your alias as Liz, which is short for lizard, as we described it, or do you prefer Lynn?
It literally doesn't matter.
Lynn or Lynthia
Maybe.
or Lizard or Liz.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you're making your way south, you see Chase heading towards the tomb.
I kind of like, I flag him down. I'm like, Chase, get over here.
And I kind of like see her and I just run over to her.
Like, the fuck?
Let's do like a little jog over to her.
Yeah.
Like, did you hear that? Like, the fucking, like, the whimper and shit?
Oh, yeah, shit, that was me.
What happened?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Well, if it's a werewolf, I gotta know about it. What happened?
It wasn't a werewolf, just don't worry about it.
Okay. Listen, so here's the deal. The fucking... whatever horrible thing you did back there, it was a good thing because the groundskeeper, we are like officially in. Like we have a reason to be here.
Oh, nice.
So
That's good, I guess. And I'm gonna kind of like look back to where I came from, and I'm just gonna like my character will kind of look there sadly. And I'll kind of turn back around and I guess start heading back over here with everyone.
Like, all right.
You head back.
Yeah.
He barges out. Are my dogs safe?
No idea. I haven't seen them.
I saw one.
Is this like a lie? Do I have to roll to like deceive?
I feel like probably.
Okay, so what is this? Is this a sway?
Probably.
Oh god. This is gonna be a bad roll. Okay, well I'll just do the roll straight. No modifiers or anything.
Yeah, risky and standard, you're fine.
Okay, yeah, that's bad.
Baxter! And then he starts running south.
I'm gonna run after him.
Okay, what are you trying to accomplish here?
No, if he freaks out, I don't know. I'm not gonna kill him, but if he thinks there's a werewolf, I'm gonna protect him, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not gonna shoot him. That's
Okay.
Yeah, while that's happening, Eliza's going to make her way to the mausoleum.
Okay.
Yeah, same. We got a job to do.
I feel like my character is very conflicted about what direction to go because he feels responsible for what happened, but he also doesn't want to see the reaction. So I think he's just gonna kind of like stay behind for a little bit and then chase after Eliza and Amir.
Okay. Alright, so you start making your way over here. And, to the south, you suddenly, Lynn, you're chasing after our friend here, Forrest, and then you suddenly hear a "Hoo!" And then he starts running backwards the other way, and he looks like face has gone completely white.
I'm like, what happened, man?
And then he points to this tree to the south here. And you see, clear as day, what appears to be a semi-translucent body hanging by a
I don't like
spectral noose from one of the top tree limbs. And it
What the fuck?
And it looks real battered and bloody.
Is it like a person?
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly a phantom of some
That's
kind.
not the dog, is
Oh no, dog ghost.
You have to tell me if the dog hung himself.
It is in fact a person. It seems to be the apparition of a person.
He can see it, I assume.
Yeah, he freaked out about and ran back towards
Alright.
you because he was terrified.
I'm like, all right, so it's gonna be okay. This is my job. I do this. Fuck. Let's get you back to your house, because this is my job. I will go looking, I will find your dog, and I will find the werewolf, and I will take care of him.
Okay. And then he starts sobbing as you console him and bring him back.
Yeah, I know, buddy.
All
It's
right.
gonna be alright.
Meanwhile, over at the tomb.
I heard the pet store is adopting.
Oh.
Ooh, ooh.
Oof.
You are at the tomb. You see you weren't expecting this. The door's padlocked with a heavy chain and lock. And you also see that there is a sign that seems to be real makeshift staked into the ground that says "No Vandals." It seems that they've had some security problems with this tomb.
Alright, then.
Anyone know how to lockpick?
I'm not all that good with my hands.
You lift up your hands and they're hooks.
Those are the unusual weapons you chose. That you declare that you added hooks to your hands.
I have hooks on my hands.
Hooks on my hands. Oh god.
I notice on one of the items listed, at least for Whispers, is Ghost Key.
Yeah. What
is that?
Let's take a look, because it's not in the Roll20 character sheet for some reason.
No, it is not.
Let me take a look at the Whisper character class in the actual PDF and see if we can find a little bit more about this Ghost Key. Because I feel like this is a very good question to ask for this situation.
There's ghosts and locked doors. I feel like it has to be relevant for one of those things.
A ghost key, an arcane device that can open ghost doors. There's an echo of the entire city across the ages trapped in the ghost field. Sometimes a door to that place can be found.
Okay.
So
not useful here, but that's badass.
That's also anything in italics like that. You just get to take. That's 0 cost to unload.
Alright, what about my spirit bottle? What are these?
Spirit bottles are an arcane device used to trap a spirit, a metal and crystalline cylinder the size of a loaf of bread. And if you take them, you'd have 2 of them.
Okay. What page is this on in the PDF?
87.
Trying to control F my own like weird items that I can just carry with me, but it doesn't help. I guess I'll have to find it.
If you want, you could try doing some paranormal spiritual mumbo jumbo and
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm gonna try to attune to the ghost field to communicate with Cecilia.
Okay. That would definitely be an attune then. And I feel like that would still be risky and standard effect. Hey. So just...
Is that what she says?
Hey. No.
Hey, what's up, girl?
So what I'm gonna say happens is it takes a little bit for you to attune to this particular spirit, partially because it's not, it's across the cemetery, so it takes a little bit for the ports to line up and the ghost lines to go through and connect and everything to work out in its weird spiritual manifestation way that it can.
You hear the dial-up sound.
Yeah. So what I want to say is, Liz, you managed to get this guy back into a shack, and then I'm assuming you're heading back down to where the ghost is?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you head down to where the ghost is, you're kind of in this like field of like tombstones, and you can still see this thing swaying in the wind.
Oh.
It's creepy. Like its limbs are clearly not. They're twisted in ways they shouldn't be. This person got hurt bad. And then suddenly, as you're walking across the field, both you and Eliza both hear, Liz. Sounding real desperate.
Uh-oh. What is it saying?
Liz.
Great.
Liz.
Love it. Yeah, what's up, man?
Find Liz.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Eliza, it strikes you your name also contains the word Liz.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah. Eliza's like,
You can
I don't know
talk to
how
it.
Eliza's like, can you come over to your mausoleum?
You specify who Liz is.
It will, as soon as you see it appear, the body vanishes and just leaves a swaying spectral noose in the tree limb that, like, drapes over another lower branch. Suddenly, Eliza, right behind you, both Chase and Amir see just this completely, I don't know how I wanted to, battered corpse, basically, just standing right behind you. It doesn't have a face. It's just blank where the face would be. Eliza, you don't notice it, but both Chase and Amir notice that it's standing right behind you.
So I have a question about something I can have in my loadout that doesn't take up any space.
Yeah.
It's something called a Spirit Bane Charm. I'm not sure what exactly it does, and it's when I look in the PDF, it's not listed under the cutter section.
Yeah, they're not always listed, and that just means that it's kind of whatever you think. We can leave it vague on purpose. So Spirit Bane Charm, I include that's like a ward to protect against spirits based off of the name.
Yeah, so Whispers have Demon Bane charms, which are an arcane trinket that demons prefer to avoid, so I would assume a Spirit Bane charm
It
is
would be General Ghost.
analogous.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that it's there. Does it have, so is it physically tangible, or is it more of a spirit?
It's more of a spirit. It looks... If you were to glance at it for a couple seconds and then run away in terror, you would feel like it's pretty tangible, but the longer you would look at it, the more you notice, oh, I can see the fence behind this thing and, the bushes, and, it is transparent to a degree. It's, 75% transparent in Photoshop.
Okay, so I'm gonna, since I noticed that it's there, I'm gonna, kind of clutch the charm that I have. I'm wearing it, around my neck as, a necklace.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of clutch it. And I guess yeah. See if I can I don't know if it needs to if I need to activate it but my character, but Chase is he's just kind of hoping that by clutching it he's just using it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can Eliza see that?
Yeah.
I was like, don't interfere. It's the most straight she said anything without stuttering or looking awkward. She's looking right at you for the first time, probably ever.
Yeah, and I'm just completely thrown off by that, and I just basically let go of it, and I'm just more scared of her than I am of the thing behind me.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm used to dealing with people involved with ghosts. I have some tricks up my sleeve, in fact, involving a ghost. So this is not unusual for me. So I'm just going to let things play out.
All right. Yeah. So this ghost woman is standing right next to you, Eliza, and seems interested in what you have to say.
Does it appear to be Cecilia?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Hey, Cecilia, do you remember me? I was your professor.
The phantasm nods. Hated your class.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why you were on the wall.
Oof.
So, I noticed you did a lot of studying on alchemy.
Because of Liz.
Liz. Who is Liz?
The phantom seems to shake. I thought friend.
Thought friend. Did she hurt you?
Yes.
Do you want to get revenge?
Yes.
Alright. I'll pop out one of my spirit bottles and be like, if you come with me, I can help you figure that out.
So, that will be probably a. I feel like what do you want to roll for that?
I feel like that would be either a tune or consort. I know you.
I would let
like...
you. I would let you do a tune for that. I think it's ghosty.
Okay.
Enough.
Yeah, like I know. You don't want to just like use our best thing, but also this is the specific situation.
You are literally attuning
Eliza.
to a ghost, so and perceiving and communicating with a ghost. So yeah, I absolutely think that you can roll a tune here. That's completely fair.
Yeah, this is the exact situation Eliza's made for. Risky standard.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So. It is going to agree, and right before it kind of flies into your little bottle, it goes, "Want to see Liz?"
Yes.
It reaches out with a very, very muddy and bloodied palm and like kind of grabs at your face. Are you cool with this?
Yeah.
Okay. It puts its palm over your face, and you suddenly see a vision of the Silver Moon University exterior, and you see not only your buddy Cemetery Cecilia, though like in like normal. Hold on.
Live.
Yeah. Can I like that's close enough to a skin color. She's bathed in the street lamp over here. She is also
Were there street lamps in the 1800s?
Yes.
well, like lanterns.
Have you never heard of a gas lamp district?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Uh,
wasn't thinking about gas lamps.
she is also walking to a student that you remember, who graduated about a year ago. Liz Galloway. She was a star student in several of your classes. And they are carrying a lot of books as they walk and talk through the street.
Okay, books I saw earlier this evening.
You get the vibe that you can't see close enough, but you get the vibe probably there's a connection to be made there. That's a fair assessment to make.
All right.
Back at Brownhill Cemetery, as she enters the bottle, you suddenly hear a unlocking mechanism and the lock on the lock and chain falling away on the mausoleum entrance.
How convenient. Let's move.
Inside, you do in fact see behind the actual grave, like elevated grave itself, there seems to be a bag sticking out of the corner that was thankfully not identified or noticed when the lock was put on.
Yeah.
You get the feeling Forrest
Right.
doesn't pay much attention.
Really lucked out there.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, for my good friend August, let's just put that into my pockets. Just gonna grab that up.
Oh, it's a full ass duffel bag.
Yeah, the whole duffel bag.
Yes.
Grab it. I'll just
Yes.
grab it and I'll grab it and hoist it over my shoulder.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
While this is happening, hey Liz, what are you doing?
I was just fucking just like, man, I wonder if that meant me. Anyway,
Yeah, that's fair. That is extremely fair.
Are there any other Liz's I should know about?
you're Liz, she's Liz, I'm Liz. I'm just kind of, I'm on edge, admittedly, but I am just kind of perusing around trying to see if there is any werewolf.
Why don't you go ahead and roll a Something for that.
Roll a something, you got it.
Yeah, I feel like a, let's see here. Hunt a target, gather information about its location. You could do that. You could do, yeah. Are you like hunting around for this thing to see if it's there?
Yeah.
I would let you roll a hunt for that.
Yeah, because I still don't know that it was just because Chase killed a dog. What's the position? Risky standard again?
Risky standard. So.
Oh, nice.
That is
awesome.
A rare 3 dice failure. So what I think happens is you manage to trail all the way back here to the fence, and you see the dog, and as soon as you're like kind of looking around it, you're kind of taking some time to investigate for signs of werewolf activity.
Right.
And then suddenly you hear a stirring from the bushes. What did you do to Baxter?
Was that the fucking groundskeeper?
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't do anything. Did you hear a gunshot?
You know, a little bit before he came, yeah, but it sounded further away than here.
Yeah, it was...
What did you... He was thrown against the fence.
Little noodle arms. I couldn't do that.
Wait, how could he tell that that the dog was thrown?
I'm assuming there's like a splatter.
On the spikes.
It wasn't thrown on
he
the
wasn't
spike.
thrown onto
It was just
the
thrown like
spikes.
against it.
Against it. Yeah. I suggested onto the spikes, but Chase is a kinder person.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I thought it was something stuff even worse than that, but...
God.
Concerning.
So, I think he's having a little bit of a meltdown right now.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Then suddenly he starts to cough a little bit, and like he suddenly collapses as if he's having a heart attack.
Oh.
Oh no, is he becoming a werewolf?
Yeah, Lynn, you've seen this before.
Oh boy.
Sometimes people have the plague, but it's not very apparent even to them. This man's getting hairy.
Oh boy. Well, it's like they're gonna need a new groundskeeper because I made mention before, but I'm gonna declare that I did bring my shotgun with me, my fine long rifle.
Okay, go ahead and add that to your sheet. He is still halfway through transforming.
Like he's definitely, there's no ambiguity. He's definitely going, right?
Yeah, you've seen enough people transform before by now that you clearly can tell that this dude's becoming a beast man.
I'm gonna be like, hey, thank you for, letting us in. And then I'm gonna try to just shoot him in the head.
Whew, I think that would be a hunt for sure.
Thanks for letting us in, man.
Yeah. Oof, that's
risky
a rough one.
standard.
Man, this guy was upset that his dog died, so he just decided to become another dog.
It was like, Baxter's gone. I'm gonna make a new Baxter.
Me. Yeah.
Me.
Was that your roll? Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, headshot. He falls back into the foliage. Suddenly.
Does the other dog hear this?
You get the impression this dog don't give a fuck about much. He's just been here this whole time.
The camera pans over. He's just standing there next to me.
Suddenly, the blue tattoo that is on his left hand, the backside of his left hand, starts to glow a pale blue. You're all very familiar with this. So, in the city of Knoxbury, and in fact in the vast majority of the larger cities that are located in the Kingdom of Mendebard, there is a spiritual entity known as a Mother Raven that is located atop a very, very tall bell tower / roost. When someone dies in city grounds, well, actually, first of all, I should say, looking at the map here, this is where Black Bell is. You can see the location of the tower right here, denoted by the bell symbol. At midnight, the bell chimes once, and that everyone within the legal city limits of Knoxbury gets this enchanted tattoo placed upon the back of their left hand. If someone has this tattoo and dies, the ravens that work underneath the mother raven, her children, will fly towards the body to locate it, and you will hear chiming bells around the location. Like as soon as someone's like life is completely drained of them, in the immediate area you can hear like the chiming of bells faintly, which would alert someone to the fact that someone just passed away. Then a bloodhound is then sent out, which is basically think of it as a special task force that is charged with taking care of bodies and sending them to the crematorium before the ghost can escape from the body, which usually can take anywhere from a day to a couple days. No one's really sure on the specifics, but generally you have a grace period before you have to worry about souls leaving the body. And they also are known to be, they have a little bit of extra special legal authority to enact justice. Like if someone got murdered and the murderers are still there, they can take care of that. They have the authority to do so without other law enforcement getting in the way. They tend to have pretty thick armor that has like a dog or like a wolf-shaped. It's technically a wolf-shaped helmet with glowing red eyes. And in fact, they tend to have some magical abilities of their own. So they are very formidable. They are very commonly, as a hunter, you would have pretty good established communication with these people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it custom for me to just stay with the body, or just...
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like that's what happens. Maybe if there's a couple beastmen in an area, you'd take a few of them and then round them all up at the end. But for like a one-off like this, you'd probably stay with it.
Yeah, there's just one.
Just so they know, hey, this wasn't someone who got murdered during a very opportune time. I think that's pretty custom. Depending on how far away you are from the bell tower, it usually takes them a little bit to get there. They tend to teleport from rooftop to rooftop. Like they can kind of do like a Wesker like flash dash type thing where they like can teleport short distances. So they tend to run across the rooftops to get to their location. And in fact, you see it doesn't take long. You know, obviously using the sky for the for the raven to get here. That's just, a typical raven. You wouldn't be able to tell that it's a magical raven just by looking at it, but given the context, it's flying over there. What are the rest of you doing with your newly captured ghost friend and duffel bag of devil lettuce?
Yeah, well, I think upon hearing the gunshot, Eliza's gonna want to check that out.
Everyone going down south?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
Eliza's
Hey.
like,
Oh, sorry, I just realized, Fang, you can't control your token. There we go.
Eliza's very much like, that guy's dead. I see.
Clearly, he was a werewolf.
He does
Was he
look very,
clearly
he does look fairly hairy. Hairier than you remember.
I mean, okay. That's fine. I guess.
It happens. It happens.
The raven lands on a tree
True.
branch.
Well,
He had found what had
we
happened
should-
to his dog and then coughed and instantly went down.
How unfortunate. Well, I think that's our cue to leave and let's No dead men tell tales.
So are you gonna split for it, or are you gonna talk to the Bloodhound when he gets here?
Oh, I don't know about y'all, but like my character,
You're
like
carrying
is speedy as hell.
of weed.
Yeah, like regardless of like everyone else, like my character is just like,
Well,
oh man, like
I will say
I don't wanna
it
talk
would
to
be
anyone.
it would be a little weird. So here, how I think the hunts work is that after you get a kill, you typically wait for the Bloodhound to come and check it out, and then they give you the okay to like confirm like, hey, this body's taken care of by a hunter already, and then the hunter turns the body in, and then all the bodies get cremated in like a big pile later. But that's also how hunters get paid. So if you all split, it would be a little weird to see like, oh, a hunt took place and then the hunter left to not claim their reward.
Yeah, I'm staying. I'm getting my fucking reward.
That would leave the three of you to be out alone after curfew, though, as you come
Yeah,
back.
Eliza will stay with the hunter. He has legitimate
I'll stay
business in this
too.
graveyard.
I'll stay too. I think there's more safety in numbers.
All right.
All right then.
What are y'all doing with the duffel bag?
I'll just keep carrying it.
Okay.
I mean, what else am I supposed to do with it? Hide it?
Yeah, if you want to.
He's a student who came out to assist his professor. Who knows what could be in that bag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So.
I feel like it's not unusual for someone who's accompanying a hunter to have a duffel bag.
Well, yeah, it is kind of weird that you're there in the first place because like no one who isn't a hunter isn't supposed to be out right now, really. But you can make an excuse to the guy if you want to.
I have my documents.
You do have your documents.
I mean, I can say that, you know, the hunter was accompanying us, but then a hunt, but then there was like the sign of like a hunt, so, you know, just like
Yeah.
accompanying us. I'm sure they would provide some leeway for the curfew if the hunter, you know, stopped a monster, you know, and instead of taking us back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There might be some leeway there.
So, you do see, coming from the north, teleporting real quick from treetop to treetop, leaving a pale blue fog, or like a little bit of a wisp of mist, as it dashes. Like you can kind of like almost see like this foggy line from where this guy's jumping from one place to the next, and then he finally kind of meets down in the center of the group, and he kind of looks around and he goes, "Motley crew, you got here? I have a different token for this guy. The way it's guts from Berserk in the Berserker armor that I'll change. I forgot to upload it for this time. Oops. So this is
that's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's just guts. But yeah, he looks at you and he goes, "Yeah, Motley crew, you got here."
One of the professors.
I take out my concealed palm pistol to look like I'm a hunter, but not.
I'll put.
Yep.
I still have some slots. I'll actually look like I'll be a hunter too. I'll have let's say I'll have like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
With a baseball bat with like a big nail sticking out of it.
Yeah.
The Negan fit.
Would that be considered like a? Do you think that would be considered like a blade?
No, that a blade would be like a knife. But it could be considered like
a large weapon.
A large weapon, yeah. Exactly.
All right, so I'll declare that I just have a baseball bat with a big spike coming out of it.
Well, you got the job done. Congrats on the kill. I trust you're gonna turn this in and then have the body burned.
That's why I waited. Yeah.
All right. Happy hunting. And then he teleports away, and the raven flies back with him.
And I turned in like a fucking baseball bat.
Yeah, why not? What else am I supposed to have? A gun? I mean, you see what I look like, you know? I can wield a weapon. I don't need to hide behind a ranged weapon.
That's
All right
it's
then.
just a fucking
All right then.
baseball bat with a nail on it.
All right. What's everyone up to now?
Are you going to take the body with us? Or, like... You have to dispose of the body yourself, don't you?
She does. She does. Unless she doesn't,
does.
which would be a real dick move.
No, what the fuck? No.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna dispose of it. Turn it over.
Okay. In fact, I feel like, considering the fact that there's a special task force dedicated to corpse removal, I feel like a hunter who then doesn't follow through with disposing of the corpse, that's probably a crime, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like the way to go drop off the corpse and get your pay is probably a little out of the way from where you came. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, you all probably just travel as a group then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
Eliza's not going anywhere without this hunter.
yeah, so you manage to go back to...
So what happens with this dog right here?
That's actually a good question. So I'm assuming you're coming out the front entranceway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly the dog looks up and woofs at you really happily, wagging his tail.
Let's take the dog with us. Why not?
He seems completely unfazed by the fact that you're carrying what appears to be his dead master.
Yeah.
Let's take the dog with the dog doing.
Yeah. What the dog doing? Yeah. Let's take the dog with us. So we can give
Why
him a
are we
name.
taking the dog with us?
The dog seems down.
Yeah. Why not? You don't like dogs, Eliza?
I don't...
You know dogs can sense ghosts? Did you know that?
Yeah, you know...
Can I
who
roll
else can
command
sense
to tell
Me?
it to sit and
Yes.
see if it obeys?
Yes, you can. Roll a command. This is definitely standard effect and position. I'd say controlled. You're very controlled.
Controlled. Standard. Bonus die. Nope.
None.
4.
It sits.
Sit!
It sits for a little bit, but then seems really excited, so then it just kind of plops back up right away, and it's kind of sniffing everyone.
See, in my head, I remember what I did to the other dog, and I just feel really bad. So I feel like I need to kind of like take responsibility and take care of this dog since he no longer has like an owner.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
What the dog doing?
What's the dog doing?
What are you naming the dog?
We've had to name so many things tonight.
So how
Open the pen names.
these dogs were clearly trained, right? Like if they were trained to kind of stay by like the entrance.
They were trained to be guard dogs. You feel like this one isn't very good at its job.
All right, I guess I'll have to train it more to be more useful.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess let's head out. I mean, is the dog willing to like follow me?
The dog seems to be following the group. Yeah.
All right, good.
So you go and claim your reward, which is pretty paltry. It's not hunting's well respected, and it's something that a lot of people who need a let's just say a out or a way to express aggression. Very popular with those types to unleash it onto a acceptable target as seen by the community. But it doesn't pay very well. So there's no real mechanical benefit to the actual pay because it's not even like a half day's pay at like a factory. You're like, kind of like more lower end job around here. But every little bit helps, and on really good nights you can get money that'll last you a little bit, So yeah, you turn in the body, and it is thrown atop of the funeral pyre that will eventually be lit when the sun comes back up. And then I assume you head back over to Silver Moon University.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Let me copy and paste our dog friend. Whoa. Well, or just everyone.
I'm currently looking down the list on the Twitter pet finder names for a name for this dog.
Yeah.
There was one that was like,
Name.
there were two chickens. One was Jenny and one was also Jenny.
The dog is having a good time.
Want to do it?
August Duffy seems relieved seeing you, Chase, walk in with the bag. He goes, oh, thank God, my career is saved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. No problem.
A lot of career changes happened tonight.
Oh, what do you mean? What happened? What happened? Did you take care of the ghost?
Technically, yes.
Eliza will pull out her spirit bottle and be like, hey, I have an alumnus I need to look up.
Oh. Huh. Okay.
And we also technically now need a graveyard groundskeeper again. Not technically, we do.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. That was an act of God.
I didn't tell you to harm the man.
I'm not operating on your rules. He was a werewolf, baby. That's what happens.
Oh, Forrest. And then he kind of shakes his head like, ah, damn. Not Forrest. He didn't hurt anyone.
It's alright, buddy.
That's right,
It's
he didn't.
alright.
Because I'm here.
He cocked the shotgun again.
I think I've come up with.
And
I
he
think I've,
never will.
I think I've come up with a name for this dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it microwave. I don't know what I just made up that word. I don't know what it is, but I'll call it microwave.
Okay.
What?
Microwave the dog. Is microwave one word or two, or hyphenated, or?
One word.
I didn't know how unique we wanted to make this dog named Microwave, if we wanted to go for the traditional spelling or not. The traditional spelling, like there's different ways.
Spelling. I just
Traditional
There's
spelling.
only one way to spell microwave.
Microwave.
You know, the European way of spelling microwave.
Me when I make mac and cheese in the microwave.
So yeah, we are all going to move into our reward phase now. Ooh. And what's going to happen here, we're almost done, but we got a few things to do left. So, after our score, which is what we just did, we are in the payoff phase. So, the PCs take stock of their income from the operation. We score both rep and coin. The crew earns 2 rep by default. That's our reputation overall, like our general reputation amongst the rest of the world and the other factions in it. So, if we go to the crew page, you can see there's rep, so we're going to select 2. You also gain 1 rep per tier higher if the target of the score was higher tier than you were. And she was, because we are technically tier 0, and Cecilia was tier 1. So that means we get 3 rep from this. Simultaneously though, if you target someone and they're lower rep than you, you take a rep penalty. You never lose rep, but you can go all the way down to 0. Let's see, if you keep the operation completely quiet so no one knows about it, you can earn 0 rep. But, well, no, people do know about it. You put in the body, August knows about it. The Bloodhound saw you, you know, people know. So, the crew earns coin based on the nature of the operation and or any loot they seized. I would say this was a minor job, which would result in 2 coin. The coin is now recorded on the crew sheet. It can be divvied up among crew members as seen fit. Okay. So... Let's see. Most districts have crime bosses that expect smaller crews to pay a tithe from their scores. I think it would be kind of interesting if the administration of the university knows you're all up to some bullshit and wants in on the cut, instead of doing a crime boss. I think that's kind of an interesting angle.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
Yeah. Well, that
Very
works.
well.
So they would demand 1 coin because you're still small. So you gained 1 coin from this operation. August does not, pay super great, but a couple full purses of coin is pretty nice. Now the next thing we do is we determine our heat. So Knoxbury is a city of prying eyes and informants, both living and ghostly. Anything you do can be witnessed, and there's always evidence left behind. So, to reflect this, your crew acquires heat as they commit crimes. After a score or conflict with an opponent, your crew takes heat according to the nature of the operation. Smooth and quiet, low exposure would be 0 heat. I feel like we're pretty smooth and quiet, low exposure here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. Nothing really to draw attention to. Just kind of like normal routine work for the most part.
Everything fit within the total realm of plausibility and belief for everyone who was involved. The only people that knew a crime took place, really, were in on it, so... let's see. Add 1 heat for a high-profile or well-connected target, which Cecilia definitely wasn't. Add 1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. It's not really hostile turf. Though, actually... No, I feel like the cemetery
hostile
itself
until
isn't.
it wasn't hostile until we got there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
One
initially
thing
hostile.
one thing you do need to keep in mind though is that there are gangs everywhere in the city. So like it wouldn't be unbelievable for one of them to like know that some shit happened clearly in the nearby graveyard and catch wind of it. But I feel like this particular cemetery, I don't think there was any gangs around necessarily. But in
Tell
other...
you who made a fucking hostile chase when he threw the dog into the fence.
Yeah. But I feel like, add +2 heat if killing was involved, whether the crew did the killing or not. Bodies draw attention. Well, that certainly happened.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, that's +2 heat overall. But still. You mark heat levels on the heat tracker. Yeah, we did that. When your heat level reaches 9, you gain a wanted level, and you clear your heat. The higher your wanted level, the more serious the response when the law enforcement takes action against your crew. Also, your wanted level contributes to the severity of the entanglements that your crew faces after a score, which we will get into now. We're not going to get into our incarceration right now, because that is not something that's happening to us yet. But you can get arrested in this game, and that is something to be mindful of as our crew gains more heat. So, entanglements. Even though we just succeeded at our mission, Forged in the Dark is a system that believes there's always some snafu, or there's always some little issue, or
You mean Blades in the Dark?
No, Forged in the Dark is the name of the system that Blades in the Dark created.
Okay.
So,
Sorry,
yeah.
I was a little confused there.
Yeah, no problem. No, it's an easy mistake to make, I get it. Or confusion to make is not really a mistake, but... So, what we're gonna do is I'm going to roll on this table, based off of our heat. So, we currently have 2 heat, putting us pretty low, relatively speaking. So I'm going to roll a d6. Well, actually, let me see. Find the column that matches the crew's current heat level, then roll a number of dice equal to their wanted level. Well, you currently have 0. If the result is 0, roll 2 dice and keep the lowest result. Okay, so I'm going to roll 2 dice here, and we're going to take the lowest for this. 3. Well, they're both 3. So then the entanglement we rolled is gang trouble or the usual suspects, which I think gives me a couple different. Does that give me a couple options to choose from here? Let me see. Ooh, I like both of these. We'll see what this. We'll see what happens here. You know, I think what's going to happen is we're going to go with the entanglement, the usual suspect. The Knoxbury City Watch, which is basically the police force of the city, grabs someone in the periphery of our crew. One player must volunteer a friend or vice purveyor as the person most likely to be taken in by the police. Make a fortune roll to find out if they resist questioning, or pay the bluecoats off with 1 coin. Does anyone want to volunteer one of their friends or vice purveyors?
Not losing Jack.
I don't feel like either my friend or my vice purveyor could lead or feasibly get into entanglements with the law. One of them is just a doll maker.
I mean, my vice purveyor and friend, August, we literally just did the mission for him. So, I mean, that would make sense.
I think what happens is August is like, I'm gonna light up some of this weed as a celebration, and then like walks outside for a little smoke break, and then suddenly you hear Knoxbury City Watch, get down, and you hear, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'll light up this fucking smoke. Oh shit.
Y'all just standing inside.
Oh shit.
So,
here we go again.
Let's see. Find out if they resist questioning. Okay, so we're gonna roll a 1d6 to see if our friend August resists questioning. He does. He gets beat up pretty bad though by the police as they try to figure out where he got this from. Or instead of that, do you want to pay off the cops with 1 coin, which is all we have?
We didn't do anything wrong.
You're gonna keep the cash and just let him take the police interrogation?
It's not my friend.
I mean, I would pay him off, but it's also not necessarily my coin.
Yeah, it's everyone's coin.
Yeah.
My character probably would not want to, just because he really values money, especially to like support, his mom. So I think he would kind of be a little bit selfish in that regard.
Yeah.
Even though he understands why he shouldn't.
Yeah, I feel like what happens is he walks back in and they say, well, they didn't take me, but they find me real good and roughed me up real bad, and you can see he has a black eye, and like they definitely confiscated what he had on him.
He'll heal.
They confiscated also probably more than just the contraband. Like I feel like they probably took whatever valuable he had on him, because the police here suck, as police do.
Eliza's
I pat him on the back, like, it's alright, man, it's alright.
Yeah.
Eliza doesn't feel bad.
He proceeds to roll another joint.
Eliza kind of blames him for turning the frat house she was in charge of into a crime den, so she's like, you deserve this. He has a doll on the wall too, don't you worry.
So, downtime activities. Between scores, your crew spends time at their liberty, attending to personal needs and side projects. These are called downtime activities. We have a list that you can find on page 153 of the PDF. These are acquire asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, and indulge your vice. So you may choose the same activity more than once. When you're at war, each PC only has time for one downtime activity. We are not at war with any factions yet, but that can happen. A PC can take time for more than 2 activities at a cost. Each additional activity from the list costs 1 coin or 1 reputation for the crew. This reflects the time and resulting resource drain while you're off the clock and not earning from a score. So activities on the downtime list are limited. Normal actions, as you know, we were doing throughout the whole game, are not. During downtime, you can still go places, do things, make action rolls, gather information, talk with other characters, etc. In other words, only activities that are on the list are limited. For any downtime activity, take 1 dice, or plus 1 dice to the roll if a friend or contact helps you. After the roll, you may spend coin after the roll to improve the result level. Yeah, does anyone want to acquire the temporary use of an asset, form a long-term project, and basically think of long-term projects as a character roleplay thing that you can do that your character is interested in doing and accomplishing, again, that's long-term, that helps you break the rules of the game. One example I like that the book uses a lot, and Beam Saber makes this kind of more explicit, which I also appreciated about that book. Say your character stresses out enough to get a trauma. A long-term project could be going through a healing process that gets rid of that trauma.
Going to a therapist?
Yes. That sort of thing. It could also be doing like a creative project or something that would give you something cool at the end of it. It could be establishing connections socially. A lot of different, basically anything you could think of that doesn't fall into these other categories can be a long-term project. Recovery, you know, it sounds like it exactly is. It's recovering your health. We don't have to worry about that because no one took damage. And the person who did had armor, so it was fine. We could reduce heat, which is say what your character does to reduce the heat level of the crew and make an action roll. So you basically do an action roll to do something to get some of the unwanted attention off the crew. You can train, which is basically marking experience points on the experience track for an attribute of your choice. And indulging vice, which is what you do when you want to relieve your stress. So, does anyone off the bat here know what they want to spend their 2 downtime activities doing?
I do.
Chase,
I do too.
Chase, what do you want to do?
Okay, I'm going to take Microwave and I'm going to teach him, the long-term project, I'm going to teach him how to use, like, a small blade, like a knife, carrying its mouth and to help us fight.
Yes! Okay, I will add a clock to your sheet. I'm going to, dog combat training. I'm going to say this is a 6 to your clock. How do you envision yourself training this pupper?
I envision it as like I'm gonna like put the knife in my mouth, kind of like show it, and then I'm gonna put the knife in his mouth and just kind of like, you know, just kind of try to show him like movements and like just train him how to use a knife.
Are we thinking more of a Koromaru or more of a Sif?
Sif is Dark Souls, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot you didn't play Dark Souls.
I haven't played Dark Souls. And
more of a Koromaru then.
It's been so long since I watched any Naruto. Like,
no, that's wait, isn't
like
that
10 years.
That's Persona 3.
Koromaru was Persona 3.
Oh wait, I was thinking. I thought you said. I was thinking. I thought you meant.
Wait, are they both named? Are they both Koromaru?
No, maybe I was thinking. Oh, for some reason I thought that was like the Naruto dog.
It is, right?
Is it?
No, it's... Wait, well, there is... Okay, there is...
Is it Akamaru?
Yes, Akamaru. But there also...
Okay, whatever,
but
same
there
thing.
But there also is a dog in Naruto called Koromaru, according to the Naruto wiki. So
Okay,
you're not
whatever.
wrong.
For some reason I was thinking Koromaru was the Naruto dog.
No, Koromaru is the P3 dog,
Okay.
but also a Naruto dog.
Yeah, I mean, I guess kind of like that, you know, just... It's not I from what I know about the Dark Souls dog, it's like kind of like very slow and kind of like very big sword, kind of just very deliberate movements. At least from what I assume based on like I know what it looks like, but I haven't seen the actual fight.
Yeah. Well,
But
no.
I imagine this to be more of like a nimble, like a short sword rather than like a great sword.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Okay. What stat do you think you're going to be using here to train the dog?
Skirmish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So am I actually using the skirmish stat to roll for this dice?
Yeah, and then you don't need to worry about position or effect for this type of roll.
Okay.
We're basically seeing how much progress you make on the long-term project. 6, so that would be, I want to make sure it's the same. 6 is 3 segments. You are halfway to training the dog.
All right, and I'll do my second downtime action to just keep it going.
All right. Are you still going to take the same approach of trying to skirmish?
So I kind of did that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out and just kind of like, have some targets for it to practice on. Not like
Yes.
live targets, but I mean like just like
Little scarecrows.
stationary inanimate objects for it to like just slash up.
Yeah.
Well, that bad roll that time.
That is a 1 segment of progress. So,
Okay.
all right. That's your downtime. Who wants to go next? And then we have XP
I
to do at the end
do.
of this thing. Okay.
So Eliza wants to track down this Liz Galloway.
Yeah.
Can we get jobs from ghosts?
Yes, you can. And in fact, I would even say if you would like to track down the lead on one Liz Galloway, that could even be the next session. And you don't need to spend downtime trying to, long-term project that or anything. That can just be where we go next.
Okay, then, yeah, I think that is exactly what Eliza would want to do. I don't know what this would count as for a downtime activity, but Eliza would like to commission a doll of the, of what was his name? The guy we ran into earlier?
Forrest? Or, oh no, Travis McFadden.
Yeah, I'm getting a doll of him.
Okay. I think that would be a tier 4 clock, which I'm going to add to your character sheet. Travis McFadden doll creation or commission. 4 clock, and then I'm going to have to roll a NPC roll for that, I believe. Yeah, I think what happens here, so, let's see. So, yeah, okay, so this is actually, you could first work on a project consorting with someone if, like, you don't have the means yourself to do it and you need to get someone else involved.
Yeah.
So maybe do something like social like that. Like, are you... Yeah, you have a 1 in consort, you could try that.
Yeah.
Go for it. Again, you don't
Is
have
it-
to worry about position or effect.
Okay, I'll just...
There you go. You're halfway through. A 5
Alright.
or partial success is 2. You're halfway done.
Alright, cool.
Alright, what do you want to do for your second activity?
Same thing.
Alright, go for it. I'm assuming you're going to Octavius for this, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming you're a regular customer. Do you think you're Octavius's #1 customer?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's...
This is
I-
like no questions asked. Like, yeah, this makes sense. That
I commission hyper-specific dolls on a regular basis.
hey, it's money. Yeah, go ahead and roll consort again. Oof.
Oof.
3/4. You're close. You're close. Just some minor details need to be added on, and it's almost perfection.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
I can go next. I think mine is probably gonna be simple. So, first I'm going to train in prowess.
Okay.
Because we got the bonus in that. So
We do have the
that's
bonus
like
for
2
training,
tick.
so that is going to be 2 ticks.
Mm-mm.
Here, I'll
And then
mark that.
what was? Thank you. And what was our heat level again?
Our heat level is currently 2 because we killed someone.
Right. Okay. I'm going to. I think my character, after all that, and also the cops beating on August, probably wants to take the heat off. So, he's gonna do that.
Okay, so how that works is, yeah, what do you do to reduce the heat level? Maybe you consort with your friend who's a City Watch member, and she arranges for a few incriminating reports to disappear, or maybe you command the fear of the local citizens so they're afraid to snitch on you. There's any sort of, any way you want to do this. What's your plan of attack here for, what stat do you want to use here to, and method do you want to use to, reduce your heat level of the crew?
I'd say, like, I probably, after the whole scuffle, I go to the local station or whatever for the authorities, and I do a consort,
Yeah, go ahead and roll
like-
a consort. 2d6.
Okay.
Oh, you can just click on the thing. I forget. We got that now. Nice.
Nice.
Okay, so on a 6, reduce heat according to the result. We reduce heat by 3, but we only have 2, so that goes down to 0.
Yep.
We are now
That's
completely
Good.
not noticed by the outside world. Back to irrelevancy.
Mhm.
We go.
Yep. And now I can smoke weed again.
Yes.
I respect that that's your one motivation.
I just want
Yeah.
to maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
some stoners are like that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's bound to be something crazy that happens at some point in this game that derails my character. That's what happened when we were playing Beam Saber. It was kind of insane.
There were several arcs that character went through, and involved transhumanism and death of apprentices and a lot cannibalism of robots. It was a lot happened.
Yeah.
You became Ava Unit. You went from like diplomat to common rider to Ava Unit 1.
Yeah.
It was really weird, but it was
was-
very fascinating to
yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
Lynthia.
Mine is going to be very simple. I'm just going to train twice in Resolve.
Okay, that will give you 2 in resolve.
Alright?
Okay, that covers downtime. So then after downtime, the only other thing, I think we're right at the end here, basically. The only other thing that I think we gotta do is, let's see. Hold on. I think then we do our... Well, it doesn't exactly say it necessarily here, but I think we technically do end of the session stuff now, which, when this happens, let's see. Yeah, there's no special section of the book that I think covers this, at least from looking specifically at the table of contents here. So I'm just gonna do what I remember from Beam Saber. So what we're all gonna do now is we are going to take a look at the crew sheet, and we are going to gain experience here. From all the way at the bottom it says mark XP. So at the end of a session, at the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 XP, or if it happened multiple times and we feel like it's worth it, or are worthy of it, we instead mark 2 XP if the item occurred. Execute a successful burglary, espionage, robbery, or sabotage operation. I feel like we did.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Contend with challenges above your current station. I feel
I wouldn't say they were above, honestly.
they kind of were, because Cecilia was a tier 1 and you were a lowly tier 0.
Oh, okay.
Tier 0 group. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? So your crew's current reputation is strange. Do you feel like you were strange?
No, I don't feel we were accepted.
No,
Oh,
I
we did
feel like
kill a dog.
Wait, maybe killing a dog was a little strange.
I'll mark it.
Definitely.
I mean, I felt like I didn't have a choice in the moment because I felt
Is
like
there a
we're
fucked
gonna
up
go
reputation?
We can develop one later. We can change that as we see fit. If we feel like we want to evolve from strange to something else for that reputation, we totally can.
Go from strange to actually evil.
Yeah. Did we express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
What is our goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature?
I think it's make money.
I think we need to figure that out. I mean, I guess we
Yeah.
do want to make money, and we did make money.
Yeah, so I think for now it's just make money, but what that evolves into as we all get more involved in the world here, we'll have to figure out.
Yeah.
Then the only other thing after that is we then need to do everyone's individual XP. So let's go down the wrist. The wrist. Yes, let's go down my wrist. No, let's go down my list here in journal order. Mark XP. Again, I'm sure you two are familiar with this from Beam Saber, but mark it once or twice if it happened multiple times and we feel like it's a good fit. Every time you roll a desperate action, mark XP. No one rolled desperate this time, so we didn't have to worry about that. Did you address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy, Emir?
Nope.
Okay.
I just sat around.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
When he followed me, it was kind of like calculation and wasn't it? Or no?
I mean, I feel like maybe not in the sense that the playbook is probably asking, at least from like
Yeah,
just based on,
I feel like
I'll help you out.
yeah. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background at all?
I mean, background as in, hey, my weed pal August.
My weed bro.
Yes.
My
feel like
weed
that
bro.
counts.
You know what? Yes, I'll say that, and then also, you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. You basically, because your friend got in trouble, you got in trouble in a roundabout way. So I'm gonna give you XP for that too. So 2 XP overall.
Nice.
Keep in mind.
He is my vice purveyor.
Yes. Keep in mind when this playbook advancement tracker at the bottom here gets full, that's how we get another special ability for a character. Chase Johnson.
Okay.
Did you address a challenge with violence or coercion?
Yes.
Coercion. Yes, you did.
You killed a dog.
Yes, he fucking did.
Yes, you fucking did.
Yeah, I know. You don't need to keep reminding me.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? Yes, you did, because...
I did when I was talking with the family.
Yeah, exactly. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma during the session?
I remember there was...
Yeah, you did, because you talked with you had a tough time talking with them because of your mother's illness, and thinking like, damn, this could be us if things went bad. So that's 3 there. Then we have Eliza Battle.
Yeah.
Did you address a challenge with knowledge or arcane power? I think you did.
Yes, I have a ghost in a bottle.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? I feel like you did. Your
I
background
guess.
definitely, I mean, it was your student, the background came up.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. Did your vice come up? You know what? It did. You're literally your long-term project. Your long-term project came up, and you also kind of had a weird moment there with talking to the ghost of Cecilia about it.
Yeah, don't worry, the doll, she will indulge in her vice after she has built up some stress. The doll is just for future use. She kind of stockpiles them for when she's having a real bad day.
Goodness. And then Lynthia. Did you address a challenge with tracking or violence? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? Absolutely. You were a hunter?
I shot the groundskeeper in the head, yeah.
Well, I was thinking more about when you talked to the other hunter, but yeah, that also is extremely
I
fair.
shot the groundskeeper in the head.
Yeah. Did you struggle because of issues from your vice or traumas during the session? What's your vice? Oh yeah, you didn't. Well, you didn't.
I didn't drink.
You didn't drink with your buddy Jack Goff at the session, so
Yeah.
we'll leave it at 2. But yeah, that leaves us here with the end of the session. So I hope everyone had a good time with this first session here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We can, so this is a very open-ended game that can go the direction the players want it to. I feel like we have a very natural follow-up to this session with figuring out what's going on with Liz. We don't need to if we don't want to. Like, if you guys want to gather information at the start of next session and try to look for things to rob or other stuff to do, we could do that. You may have noticed on the crew tab, this is going to be the last thing before I leave, for the night, is you can see that there's this really weird like skill tree web in the middle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically these are called claims. Now I need to do a little bit of rereading because this is not something that was necessarily in Beam Saber so much, so I'm a little unfamiliar with how this mechanic works and I need to do a little bit better reading, but the gist of it is that each of these different claims are different advantages that nearby, like, local gangs, I think technically more so in your hunting area than your lair necessarily, but I guess it could be kind of either way. I don't see the harm in doing it one way or the other. All of these gray boxes are gang advantages that they own. So, say for example you wanted to do a mission where you wanted to take some turf from a nearby gang. At the end of that session you would get a turf reward, and basically when you get a turf reward, you mark turf here. Oh, whoops. You mark turf here. Well, actually I guess we don't have to, but do you see how these lines in the tracker are gray?
Yeah.
So basically one of these will go away if we have 1 turf. So if we have 2 turf, you only require 7 rep to level up the crew's tier instead of 9. The more turf you have, the easier it is for your tier to increase as a gang. Similarly, you can see that you can gain infirmaries, covert drops, informants, drug dens, a hagfish farm for body disposal.
I like the hagfish farm. I think that's funny.
So you can work our way there. Basically, how this is going to work is you can actually technically go for any of these at any time. The only thing is that, so it says in the book, claims should usually be seized in an orderly sequence, so you're going to have to work your way there by getting these first. You're going to have to work your way there typically. However, you may attempt to seize any claim on the map, ignoring the path there, but these operations will always be especially difficult and require exceptional efforts to discover and achieve. So if you go through the typical, like, claim path, you're gonna be more naturally, but if you see something you really, really want to take control of, you can do it. It's just gonna be a lot harder than it normally would be, because you're kind of going out of your element to claim that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So these are little benefits we can get, and basically each of these, each of these are rewards that we would get from taking a mission. So if we want to investigate, like, hey, who has nearby turf that we can take, we could start that next session off, or alternatively, we could do, we could follow up from what happened in the story here. However y'all want to go with, I'm happy, but I guess I would like at least a little bit of a, what's everyone feeling? Does everyone want to move to a different little subplot here? Do we want to continue on the thread that we established?
What's going on with that bitch Liz? I want to know.
Yeah, there's too many Liz's.
There's too many Liz's.
I think we should continue.
Okay.
Gotta take care.
Third Liz.
Take care of the
What's
third
up,
one.
Liz?
I am in full agreement, and I am completely happy with setting that up for next week. So yeah, that wraps up this first episode here of Daggers and Moonlight. I had a really good time. This is a fun game. I love Forged in the Dark. This is such a fun system to work in. We didn't even do clocks this time, which is something we'll probably get into next time. But sometimes it takes a little bit of a... when you do a roll, you don't succeed right away. You need to, fill progress in a clock. It's like a progress bar. So we will explore that next time. But I had a good time, and I hope everyone else did too. Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.
See ya.